Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Mobile Weekly / Mobile Q&A, where we go over all latest news that happened during the week of mobile and tech and answer your questions live. If you have a question you want to ask, just ask it in the comment section down below and I will answer it before the end of the show. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, as we always do have a lot of breaking news every week. However, I will let you know this is going to be the 1 week we don't have it coming next week, just because for Father's Day I got a great surprise for my wife, and she bought tickets for us to go to a WWE event next week on Sunday. So I will be at that event next Sunday night. So yeah, no show next week, but every week we will do it. And you never know, I might have a special on Saturday or something like that, depending on how things go. So stay tuned and subscribe. Alright, now let's get to some big news, which Samsung dominated the news this past week. Although Huawei and OnePlus had some really big sales numbers, so let's go over everything. So first off, the thing that a lot of you guys have been looking forward to, if my Note 9 video was any indication, that people want to know everything that's going on with Samsung and the upcoming events that they will have in August 9th. Is it 9th? August 7th or 9th? 9th, I think, right? So the first big one is the Galaxy S10. The Galaxy S10 looks like it will have one new feature that has not been on a Samsung phone before, but was shown off recently as a concept for a phone, and that is getting rid of the earpiece. So you will have no earpiece in this one, and it will have vibrating glass in order to give you the audio quality. Now this would not be the first phone to do it. The Xiaomi Mi Mix, the first one, did it. Also another one that just did it, the Vivo Nex did it as well. And this is of course a staple of Sony smart TVs as well. So it really has been done before, but it's just a great idea that, again, more and more people are going towards this. Let's not go with the whole bezel, let's not go with the whole notch at the top. Let's find ways to get rid of these features. And this points us in a good direction for the Galaxy S10, that if they're trying to get rid of the earpiece, then they're trying to get rid of the notch as well. This is really hopeful for me. I really hope Samsung goes in the right direction with this. Let me know, what do you guys think about this? Now this is using basically a really loud quality. This video, and if you can just search it, Samsung Displays booth tour at SID Display Week 2018, and you can see the video itself. The guy is in a conference area, you know, a convention, and yet he can still hear clearly. That's impressive. So the fact that you can actually still hear clearly in a very loud area is really interesting, and really interesting to see how it's going to go with this technology. Now, this is interesting as well because you don't have front-firing speakers, you have a front-firing screen. So what do you guys think about that? Essentially, if your whole screen is a speaker, not a bad way to go. And I will tell you that the Sony TVs that I have seen with this technology are loud. So yeah, very curious to see how it goes. Overall, I'm really interested. It's really interesting how this will go. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys okay with a front-firing earpiece on a screen, basically, and then that whole screen would be your speaker when you have basically listen to music or videos? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Alright, the next big news is going to be Samsung's foldable smartphones and the current rumors. Now, first I will tell you the rumor, then I will tell you my thoughts on it, because as we know, rumors always don't get it right, and you have to see beyond just what they're saying. So, first and foremost, Samsung smartphone, the Galaxy X, that should be coming out next MWC at this point, is from what we're hearing. So next February it'll be announced, and March it will be released, is going to be $2,000. What? So here's the thing. This is a conversion of won. So you are converting it from 2 million won, which would equivalent to $1,850. However, usually that conversion isn't straight up like that. Usually it costs less in the less when it actually comes to the US. Even though the won costs more, you don't convert it. exactly the same way. So that being said, I said a while back that I could see this smartphone being $1,500. And again, I think it's a concept device like the Note Edge, which came out at the same time as the Note 4. That phone costed about $900 to $1,000 at the time. So again, this has been done before. People have bought this phones, but I think that phone sold, I think it was 500,000 to 1 million units. So not that many by Samsung standards for sure, but it proved that people were willing to pay more, but more so for a cutting edge technology. And as we've seen with the iPhone 10, they spent $1,000 for cutting edge technology for an iPhone. So will that same thing happen with this? I think again, it is a possibility of $1,500. I don't discount that theory, but I don't think it'll be this high of price. I think they're not going to convert it as they did here. But again, that's how rumor mills work. You hear this price, so you convert it to a different price, and that's what you end up getting in the rumor. Now, there is talk more about this device in terms of it will be a 7.3-inch display. So that is bigger than entry-level tablets, I would say. Most entry-level tablets do still start around 7 inches. And it'll be only 4.5 when you close it. Now that's really interesting because that can definitely be more pocketable. If you think about a 4.5-inch screen with more and more reduction on bezels, that's a big difference of like how small that phone will be. But the fact that you're gonna fit that big of a screen in your pocket is really interesting. And not only that, but we have a failed prototype of the Galaxy X. Now, what do I mean by a failed prototype? This prototype came out years ago, and you'll definitely understand why I'm saying that first, because it looks very similar to the ZTE Axon M and the way it did. So again, this is a failed prototype. It's not what's coming out next year, but this was in the early stages. I would say this probably came out around with the S7 when they were testing this version out. Again, you can tell by the icons and certain things of how the UI looks, and the home button, the bezels, everything, right? But it's a pretty, again, indication of having 2 screens when it comes out, and then you fold it in and it's 1 screen. So that is, again, the basic idea of how these phones will work. Overall, I will say that, again, this is not definitely what we wanted. Again, you still have a micro USB on here. It just kind of gives you an indication of how long ago this device was. But it gives you an idea of how this could look eventually. Like that you could literally have a big screen with no divider in the middle, because now we're talking about a foldable screen instead of 2 screens that are supposed to look into one. So that's the big difference that's coming up, and it's really kind of curious to see how this will look and how many people are going to get this kind of concept. I, for one, am very curious about it, and the thing is, I've been upfront with this from the beginning, I definitely see this as a possibility of I might get this instead of the S10, depending on what the S10 shows me, or I might just give in and give Samsung the satisfaction of buying the S10 and then buying the Galaxy X right away too. We'll have to wait and see, but overall, this device is very interesting. Again, this one was an old version of the device. I can tell you I've seen a prototype in the past year, which was further along than that. So yeah, so then we have an update on the Note 9. I know a lot of you guys checked out our Note 9 video. If you haven't, please check it out. We go so in depth on the Galaxy Note 9, on the images that were released, on everything that it's going to have. But I do want to do one update to that video, and that is we have confirmed that button, supposed button on the side, was exactly what I told you guys it was probably, and that it was not a button. Instead of being a logo of the brand, like I thought it would be though, it's literally just to put a string in so that you can have it like on your wrist or something along those lines, or have a little, you know, basically decoration on it. That's all it was, and this has been confirmed by Ice Universe, which if you're not following him on Twitter, you definitely should be, because yeah, he definitely, it's crazy how much this person's leaked, so definitely follow him. Alright, and with that, we also have some updates on the Gear S4 and the Tab S4. I know you guys have been asking me a lot about this. So this same person has leaked out that yes, we are actually getting a bigger battery. So last year's Gear S3 was 380 milliamps. This one's going to be 478 milliamps. That's a big battery boost in consideration. My fear is it going to get thicker? But overall, I do like the idea of having a longer battery life. I think anyone who owns a smartwatch would agree to that we want longer battery life. So definitely can't wait to see how this looks overall. Very, very curious to see. And the next one is the Tab S4. Now the Tab S4, we have a couple of different things we want to talk about. The first one being that it does look like it will have iris scanner built into it. It also looks like it will have DeX support. Now I'm curious on how this DeX support will really work, because the DeX pad that just came out is obviously too big for it. What I'm hoping is that they finally bring DeX just to any HDMI connection, that you can plug in a Type-C cable to HDMI and it is now in DeX form. That's how it should have been from the start. I think DeX overall is a little bit antiquated at this point. I like Huawei's approach much better than anything you plug into it. But not only that, we do have our first look at the device itself. So this is the Galaxy Tab S4. Again, I know a lot of you have been asking me about questions about it. So this is it. No more home button, physical home button pressing on there. It is going to be a digital button, which is, in my opinion, where they need to go by now. Bezels are okay. They're not super thin. They're not super big. I don't think as a design choice, this is anything too really crazy. But overall, I don't know. I hope it has fast charging. I hope it has wireless charging, but we'll have to wait and see. This is predicted to be at IFA this year, so we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. All right, and then we also have Samsung Bixby as a smart speaker. Now, this is a rumor that's been going around, but basically this is just a patent that did leak, so we're going to go over it. Basically, it could have a camera built in on it. It could also operate through your phone, just like Google Assistant can, and it could basically move and have a mic on it. Overall, I'm really curious how Bixby will really go. I think the way it looks like to this, it kind of reminds me of LG and their help in the Joby experiment that they backed. That is interesting to me, having a more friendly UI on the speaker, not just a speaker. I think that's a really interesting concept. I think that you could have a good kind of experience. Say if I wanted to buy a speaker for my kid, right? If it's like a fun little animated speaker, which one would I put in her room? That one or the Google Mini? You know, it is a really interesting way of going about it, but overall, I don't know how well a Bixby speaker will catch on. It's just something that I'm not too sure of, but I'm willing to give it a try. And if Samsung wants to get in this game, they need to get in it now, because this game is getting filled up and Google Home is winning it. All right, now I have to address this rumor, and I've been saying that this will happen in the next 2 to 3 years. Not 2 years ago, a year ago. A year ago, I started saying that Apple will eventually do this because their connections are a mess right now. They have lightning cables for their iPhones and iPads, and they have Type-C is their only connection on their MacBooks. And then they give you lightning headphones, which you can't plug into your MacBook, and then you have Type-C connections, a fast Type-C charger that you can't plug into your iPhone. What? It makes no real sense whatsoever. Overall, it's just a mess. So yes, the current rumor is right now by analysts that Apple might finally be going to Type-C next year. I think it is going to be interesting. I think if Apple does this, they're still going to make it proprietary somehow. People will get around it, but I think they're going to still try to make it proprietary somehow if it does happen. So really curious how it will turn out. But what do you guys think? I think it would be great for consumers. It would be the best thing ever for consumers if Apple went Type-C. Finally, we would have a unifying smartphone connector for the first time ever? Really? Because even when micro USB became the standard in all smartphones, Apple was using the 30-pin connector. So it's never been a unifying connection. But if Type-C becomes that big, it is finally one cable to rule all smartphones, and that would be great. Again, I think this would be amazing for consumers, but will Apple do it? Well, as you can imagine, they have skeptics. Alright, now let's get to the Huawei Mate 20 Pro. Now, the Huawei Mate 10 Pro was one of my favorite smartphones of last year. It had the longest battery life until a possible challenger. Man, you guys need to see that battery life comparison. Basically, the biggest thing about this phone is going to be its size and its ginormous display. Apparently, they have ordered 6.9-inch displays from Samsung, which is insanely big. We have not seen a smartphone get this kind of screen size since what, the Mate? No, not even that. I want to say, I don't even think the Galaxy Mega ever got that big. But this is insanely big for a smartphone. I'm very curious to see how it will go. I don't know. I'm really curious. I'm really curious to see how this will go. I'm very curious to see it. I'm just really wondering how big of the batteries they're going to have. It's going to have 4,500 because they already put 4,000 milliamp battery last year. Huawei is really doing some major things, and I really hope everything gets patched over so we can actually get them in the US. You know, if they have to do what ZTE is going through, so be it. But this company really needs to come to the US and bring some different innovation to it, and carriers need to pick it up. So much so that they are still selling even without going to the US. Yes, in its first, I believe it's probably been about 2 months, Huawei has sold 6 million smartphones of the new P20 devices. That is up 81% compared to their P10 from last year. And it's obvious because, you know, it's a really overall good phone. It's really done well. And yeah, in the first 3 months, they sold 6 million units. That's very impressive for anyone not named Samsung or Apple to do. That is more than LG smartphones sell, for instance, just to give you an idea. That is more than most companies sell in the entire lifespan of a phone. The Pixel 2, all of the Pixel 2s didn't sell that much. Keep that in mind. Like, every Pixel 2 sold didn't sell this much. Gives you an idea of how impressionable this smartphone has been everywhere else in the world, even though it's not in the US. I think it's pretty interesting, and I really hope that, again, we can get some of these kind of phones into the US. Precautions need to be taken, sure, but yeah, I mean, this company needs to come to the US just so we can get some competition, some innovation, and really get the mobile industry just kicking up again. Because right now, yeah, we do have a duopoly. I mean, 90% I think of all carriers only sell Apple and Samsung. So if we get some competition in here, that would be great. But not only that, OnePlus 6 has sold in 22 days 1 million smartphones. That is really impressive for a company, again, not named Samsung or Apple. 1 million smartphones is really impressive because of the fact that they did this in 22 days, and it speaks to the volume of price point. The OnePlus 6 is arguably the best bang for the buck, period, when it comes to a smartphone right now, just because of the price and how much stuff you get with it. Is it missing things? Yes, absolutely it is. And it really is just never going to be the best smartphone of the year, in my opinion, for that reason, but it'll always be in the top 10. I think it always has to be considered in the top 10 just for how much you get for the money. And really, it is such a good phone. I've had no problem with it as my secondary. As you guys know, I switched from the LG G7 to this phone, and I've had nothing but I've had no issues with it. And the battery life has been amazing after this insane tweak I found. Yes, we'll go over it in our battery life review, but yeah, really big thing going. All right, and the last one I just thought was so hilarious that I had to include it for the news. And that is Apple Maps were down. So all of a sudden, you know, Apple was saying, you know, use Google Maps for now. And then Apple Maps came back up. And everyone was like, yeah, we're still using Google Maps anyway. I just thought that was funny. I was like, oh, people are still using Apple Maps? especially now that CarPlay uses Google Maps. I mean, come on now, that was like all your Apple Maps users. But yeah, I just thought that was funny. Alright guys, that is it for the news today. Again, if you have any questions you want to ask, start firing them in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. I would like to watch live every Sunday, but I live in Florida. 12 a.m. I'm going to sleep as a baby at that time. No problem. Hopefully catch the replay after. I have a Mophie Force Charger Pro Station Mini. It won't charge my phone anymore unless I connect the cable to the battery, then to my phone. Any thoughts on why? I'm not familiar with that specific charger, but I mean, have you tried different chargers, or is it just that charger that's not charging? I'm not sure what the issue is, but yeah, I'm not familiar with that specific charger. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers watching RCKY. Thank you, Daniel. And yes, happy Father's Day to anyone that's a father out there. Sup driving, coming back from Rock Show. Hope you had fun, Alex. Any more info on Bixby not working after switching Oreo to the Note 8? It still works, and sometimes it doesn't. I did get an update, but I still find it very spotty. No, again, I do not have my Note 8 anymore. Basically, I lent it to a friend that broke his phone. So I haven't tried Bixby on the Note 8 since then. And be quite honest, I don't really try it too much on the S9. So yeah, don't know. This is RCKY, the Android guy. Hey, I remember those days. What is the best smartphone for $200 to $300? There is a lot of heavy contenders out there, and I've definitely thought about doing a video on this per se. But some of the best ones in that range, let me go over them. I actually have them set up to possibly buy in the future. So starting off at $200, the Xiaomi Mi A1. This gives you 64 gigs, 4 gigs of RAM, 5.5-inch screen, at 1080p display. That is a 12 megapixel camera as well, Snapdragon 625 for $200. Really good price point. Another one would be the Zenfone Max Plus. This has the biggest battery in this price range at 4,130 milliamps, so it has a bigger battery than the Note 9 will, for instance. And yeah, other than that, 5.7-inch screen, 1080p display again, octa-core processor, 8 megapixel camera, and 16 megapixel camera as well. So yeah, really good overall one right there. And then we have the P20 Lite for the $300 price range. And this one is going to come with 4 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of storage with SD card. It does have a notch, keep that in mind. 16 megapixel camera, f2.2, really good for this price range. And that is a 5.8-inch display, again 1080p as well, with a 3,000 milliamp battery. So gives you some different price ranges to go by, but yeah, hopefully that helps. All right. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. And just like that, the stream is on. Wow, it's midnight here. LO, figured you wouldn't stream tonight because Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, everyone. Yeah, no, I had debated on not doing it, but especially when I got that gift for Father's Day, I was like, I cannot miss 2 weeks in a row. So no matter what, I have to do it tonight. So I just moved it to 9. iOS devices going from Lightning to USB Type-C. Again, I went over that. I don't know if that rememberable true, but it's interesting. Front firing screen. That would be interesting. Front firing for the win. Hey, Ricky, what do you think about the Moto Z3 Play? Is it worth the price comparing to the OnePlus 6? Moto Z3 Play with mods comparing to the OnePlus 6. I have not reviewed the Moto Z3 Play. I will reach out to Motorola soon to try to review it after I get rid of some of these devices that I'm currently reviewing. But overall, yeah, I would say that the OnePlus 6 is better than it for most accounts. I get the Moto Mods impression, but unless they seriously up the camera quality on that one, which I haven't heard they did, I would say the OnePlus 6 is going to be better. What will the next big merger be? By companies? I don't know. I mean, you have T-Mobile and Sprint. That's the next big one, right? I mean, AT&T and Time Warner just went through. I mean, there's a possibility definitely that Comcast could be buying Fox. Those are the big ones on the horizon. Looking forward to the Galaxy S10. Is there a smart switch version for other Android devices like the Pixel or LG? You can get, I use the T-Mobile transfer over stuff, but that does only transfer over like data in terms of like, you know, your photos, your videos, text messages, stuff like that. It doesn't always have the best track record either, but every company basically has their own switch thing. So LG has a transfer app, the Pixel has a transfer app, the OnePlus has a transfer app, so you just use their proprietary one usually, and that's the best. Also, everyone remember to blink. That is a throwback from a couple weeks ago when I was talking about the thing that's really bad for your eyes late at night is actually that we don't blink. What do you bank of Mexico beating Germany? I know, right? That was a big upset. And I told my wife when my wife was asking about it, I'm like, look, it's a possibility. For soccer, it really is just like, it could be on the best day around with that. I know people are going crazy over it. We'll see. My dad was definitely going crazy over it. I'll tell you that. But yeah, he was like, Mexico's winning. Yeah, I was like, yeah, Dad, I know. Greetings. Welcome to YouTube Tech Guy stream. Thank you. Do you have a problem with the Gear S3 Samsung Pay deleting your cards often? Is there any fix? I've never had an issue with that, deleting it. I have the Wi-Fi version only, a Bluetooth Wi-Fi version though. I don't have an LTE variant if that's what you have. What's going on, Ricky? What's going on, Joseph? Made it, LOL. Oh, Ricky, hope you and the missus are doing well. Yes, we are doing very well. When your phone tells you ready to install update, how long can you delay the update to your phone? Does it automatically? There's really no set time, I would say. It will eventually do it automatically unless you're doing like rooting or something like that. But yeah, eventually it will happen. I think I've only been able to hold it off for like a month. I don't think I've been able to hold it off longer than that. I think Samsung foldable phones are going to be revolutionary. Really, I'm very curious. Definitely. So yeah, we'll see. Do you know if you have to pay for YouTube Music to use it with Android Auto or the free version will work? I think the free version should still work. Guess you are having tea later, huh? Oh, sorry. That was a conversation between two people. I want the Galaxy Watch with Android Wear. We have confirmed that that is not happening. The executives that did trust out Android Wear with a Galaxy smartwatch were not happy about it, unfortunately. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. Let's see. Bixby is nothing compared to Google. That is, I would say, true. May Rigsby bless you with the strength. Rigsby is always with me. That is good. Oh, that's hilarious. A bunch of Rigsby jokes going on right now. I don't really think people care about the notch based on the OnePlus 6 and the G7. I think all people care about is quality. What do you think? I think people do care about the notch. I think that when you're thinking about, again, these sales, even like the OnePlus, right? So first of all, the G7 is not selling well. So those two you wouldn't use in the same sentence for, I don't think people care about the notch. Two, the G7 actually did not do as well as hiding the notch as the OnePlus did, so keep that in mind as well. Finally, though, the OnePlus 6 is the best phone. I've had, what, 4 phones with notches now? And the OnePlus 6 is the best version of hiding the notch and getting rid of it. So that's one thing I will definitely say, kind of a sneak preview into the review in the future. But overall, with the OnePlus 6, again, it sold 1 million phones in less than 30 days. And that's commendable. But when you're talking about phones that really sell, this isn't one of them. This is a small niche. I mean, this is one day of Samsung smartphones over a weekend. You know, just to give you an idea, like, you know, when the Note series launches, it sells between 5 and 8 million typically in its first month. When an S series launches, it sells between 10 million and more basically in the first month on average. So these are higher sales than this phone would have. So when I say that the majority of people do actually care about the notch, they do. Yes, does Apple users care about it? No, because they only have one choice really. I mean, yes, you have the lower tier, but that is the lower tier. And that is a difference of, like, if they give you an option, notch or no notch, and LG's already backtracked on the notch. You saw the V35 come out with no notch. And that was demand by the carriers because carriers don't believe the notch is going to sell well. It's going to influence the future. It really is. And although I think we might get some more notches this year, we're not getting notches next year. We're really not. It's just like the notch is 3D, basically, you know. One person did it, so everyone jumped on 3D. And 3D's dead now. So it really is that. It's really kind of like people are, yes, I do believe people don't care. People don't, it's not that they don't care about the notch. The notch is going to influence sales, I believe, overall. The OnePlus 6 is the best OnePlus has ever made in that sense. And it's more of a value for the money, definitely. And that's what sold it. It wasn't really, and you have to understand how much OnePlus users do care about the notch. Because if you weren't following the OnePlus 6 as it was coming out, their forums were flooded with people pissed off about the notch. Flooded. This is how much people cared about the notch for OnePlus users, just to give you an idea. He was so happy to post a secret photo of, you know, the phone that was like this, and everyone saw that there was a notch and people were pissed. So much so that I'm talking about the president when I talk about it, he was. So much so that he basically said, like, we have heard your feedback. We will push out an update that will allow you to hide the notch after the launch. So in the future, we will push out an update if our users continue to demand that we hide the notch. That was on day one. That's how, like, it went to, oh, if some people are upset about the notch, we'll hide it eventually, you know, maybe a couple months later. They were so upset with it in their forums that they basically were like, okay, people are pissed. We need to remove this notch day one. And the first thing that happens when you turn this phone on is, do you want to remove the notch? So when you say people don't care about the notch, really look at the feedback that the notch got. I believe they will copy Microsoft on the Surface Book. Oh, the hinge, fulcrum hinge, like the Surface Book. That way it won't totally bend the screen. Well, again, they have screens that completely bend, but it just basically depends on how much you want to spend on it. Bixby is still pretty good at wrap support assistant. Yes, it still is a good wrap support assistant. The Mate SE for $240 is pretty legit. That is another good one though, but the ones I like, I would say are a little bit over it, but that's my opinion. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everyone drink. Let's see. Listening you in the background while playing Fortnite. All right, man. Don't die. Don't die. Watch out for the guy behind you. How do you remove the triangular looking data thing on the Note 8 after Oreo update AT&T carrier? I don't think you can hide it on Samsung. You can. OnePlus actually gives you an option on what to hide at the top, but I do not believe you can with Samsung. I'm really trying to remember right now off the top of my head, and I cannot think of a way to do it. Let me just look at my phone just to even make sure if I can't, again, quickly find something. There. No. You have very few things that you can change on the status bar under display. So no, I don't believe you can actually change it on the Samsung. Have you ever met iJustine? No, actually. I never even knew who iJustine was till last year, I think. A YouTuber that I did watch did like a video with her. And I never knew her. I know she's like super popular with iPhone users, but no, I never heard of her. I did also see her recently at, again, another YouTuber that I do watch. They're like, what do tech reviewers think of the iOS 12 and or WWDC? And she was on there. So yeah, I've never really followed her, but I have, I guess, followed other YouTubers that do with her. Favorite match of the weekend for WWE? I have still not seen all of TakeOver. Dream and Ricochet, though, one was really good from what I saw. The Ronda Rousey match was really good this weekend. Both Money in the Bank matches were really good, although I didn't like how one turned out. I'm not going to say which one, just in case anyone hasn't seen it. But yeah, it was fun. I got to see it with my wife and daughter. My daughter got 9 out of 10 matches predicted correctly. Man, she almost got that perfect 10 if not for that last match. About 6.9 inch. I want a Zenfone 3 Ultra 6.8 inch screen. Xperia Z Ultra 6.4 inch and Mega 6.3. Looking forward to that. Yeah. It's curious to see how big screens are getting. Gear S3 Wi-Fi, deleting cards from Samsung Pay every once in a while drive me crazy. Huh. I've never had it happen to me, but I don't know. I have the Classic, but they should get the same updates as either one. I'm not sure. If you can get the S8 Plus for the same price as a P20 Lite, yeah, the S8 Plus. Next merger will be Rigsby to Bixby. Look, I know how much money Samsung has. Can't afford Rigsby, just saying. What up, RICKY? What up, MFX? Have you heard of the Numb Phone? A good company. That sounds familiar. Let me do a quick search. Let's see, so it's 150 bucks. Android 7.0, 13 megapixel camera, 32 gigs storage, 3 gigs of RAM, 5.5. Not bad, but just off the top of my head, I mean, I feel like I would get the Xiaomi phone over this. Yeah, I would probably get the Xiaomi phone over this. Again, this is based on a quick look. But I would definitely get the Xiaomi phone over this for 200 instead of 150. What good, man? Pretty good. Doing good today. On the scale of Ritz crackers to chips eaten, how salty were you that Light Yagami isn't playable character in Jump Force? I had not heard that. I did not hear he wasn't playable. Screw Jump Force. I don't want to play that stupid game anyway now. How many subs has Ricky bought? He has the engagement of 10,000 subscribers. That's funny because I've never bought any subscribers, but I do agree with you that I really just, I have so low viewers to it compared to, and I would love to know why. Like I have tried expanding to different kind of videos, but it's always, as soon as I do a Samsung video, that gets all the views. I mean, you can see it, right? Like in this past week, all these other videos I've done, I did a Father's Day video, about 1,300. I got a OnePlus 6 video that did pretty well, 3,000. I got you know, my Mobile Weekly last week got 1,700. My Razer computer one got about 700. The Pixel 3 did really well too. That I got 11,000. G7 video got about 1,400. Asus new phone about 2,000. Tech Guy giveaway 700. WWDC live reaction 1,200. Give you an idea, I put up that Samsung video on the Note 9 in 4 days, 17,000. So yeah, it's, I always do what you guys want, basically. I mean, if I do other fun videos and all that kind of stuff and they get views, great. But at the end of the day, I'm always gonna end up doing a Samsung video because that's what gets the most views. And yeah, I mean, I really wish I knew why. I've tried to hire SEOs and all this kind of stuff, and you know, they always tell me, oh, just keep doing what you're doing and all this kind of stuff, and I don't have an answer. I really don't. I wish I did, because trust me, if I got the kind of money that other YouTubers with 250,000 got, oh man, I would be so much set. I should be, at my current subscriber level, be making double the money I am. I'll tell you that. What phone coming to Android P next year? What phone is coming to Android P next year? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Top 8 right now. I got this. You got this, Isaac. Don't lose, Fortnite. Ricky, why do you pronounce Bixby with a G and not an X? It was because of all the times I used Bixby. Basically, when I said it, Bixby, it basically never got my voice. It just never did. I trained it that way, and it wouldn't get my voice. It just failed so many times. So finally, I said Bixby, and when I said Bixby, it got my voice every single time. So that's why. That's the secret to it, and that's why I've always continued to pronounce it Bixby, because that's the only way that Bixby understands me. So yeah. Sam Mobile finally posted an article about the unlocked S9 and S9 Plus not getting software updates. Oh, if you didn't check it out, Tommy, I actually posted on Twitter, and I copied Samsung US and Samsung US support, and they got back to me within like a minute. They're like, oh my God, let's tell you your model number and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. This isn't an issue that's affecting me. It's an issue that's affecting everyone in the US. And they were like, thank you for your feedback. We will get this to the right department because we value, you know, customers' feedback and all this kind of stuff. But yeah, you can check it out on Twitter. I definitely posted that because I was pissed off too. I was just like, this is ridiculous. It's June and my last, you know, update was in February. It's no reason for that. Some people don't like iPhone. Android is better than iPhone. That true? It depends. I always say it depends on the person. I mean, you know, we went camping this weekend though. I will say that my phone took the best photos out of everyone. I had the S9 Plus and I had the OnePlus 6 with me. And like I did have people with iPhones like, hey man, why isn't my photo coming out as good as yours? And I'm like, I don't know. And you know, and then someone else said, dude, it's because he has that Samsung. You know, that Samsung is where it's at when it comes to photos. Like, you're not gonna get a photo as good as him. Like, I didn't say it, but yeah. Oh, Quiet Storm, you actually put, yeah, Bixby had a hard time understanding with me with an X, so I signed it with a G. Absolutely, thank you. Wow, that's awesome, Quiet Storm, you actually remember that. That's awesome. Your daughter produced 9 out of 10. Yep. Still debating on the Rogue or the Note 9. It's going to be a hard one. The Note 9 has to come with it. Have you seen any updates to Watch OS 5.0? No, although I don't have it, an Apple Watch. I haven't had one in like a couple of years, to be honest. So yeah, no, I don't. Ricky, you have a daughter? Yes. Haven't really talked about it too much, but yeah, me and my wife actually adopted her niece, and so yes, we became parents this year. Went from age 0 to age 7. So yes, this was my first Father's Day actually. No, I exploded myself. Let's try this again. You can do this, Isaac. Second match in Fortnite before the end of the night. You can do it. Top 5 this time. Top 5. XDA has a good look lock app, and it only works in Korea. XDA have figured it where you can use it. It gives you more personalization options. Link below. I can't see the link. Oh, I guess it doesn't. Go to XDA and search Good Lock. Oh yeah, you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about Samsung's Good Lock. Sorry, I didn't realize what you're saying. Samsung has a Good Lock app, and you can also download it from Sam Mobile too. But yeah, it's a really cool lock screen. It has some pretty cool features. It basically shows you how like the lock screen might be like on the S10. Like this is what they're trying, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. Still trying to park. Alex, I'm so sorry, dude. You've been trying to park for a while now. Does the Gear S3 let you receive media text? I want to say yes. I have not gotten a photo message on my Gear S3 in a while, but I swear it has in the past. I don't remember off the top of my head though. How can I reset my Bixby? Don't understand it. Basically, you can go into the Bixby Home app and you should be able to reset it from there. So go into the Bixby Home app, go into the settings under there, and then you should be able to reset it towards the bottom. Let's see. What is the most comfortable headphone you have ever owned or reviewed? Comfortable, not the best sounding. Bose QC35s. Those were probably the most comfortable. The comfort level was just so dang good on them. I do think like the Sennheiser ones that I reviewed were better sounding, and the Sony ones were the best looking in my opinion. But overall, I would say comfort. Yeah, I would give that to the Bose QC35s. Did you see Good Lock features coming to Samsung devices? A bunch of new features, tweaks, including Android P style app switcher. Yeah, again, I haven't tested it out. I know of it. I did test it out like when it first came out, but that was like last year, I think, around the Note launch. But yeah, I haven't tested it out since then. RCKY, the Samsung guy. Yeah, I've gotten called that before, and it is what it is. It's like, look, I do whatever gets me the most views, obviously, because, you know, eating, providing, family, all that stuff. Congratulations, Ricky, on the new addition to your family, and Happy Father's Day. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm Team Android, but Apple is starting to get my attention, but Apple is so boring, but something about it gives my attention. What should I do? It depends. I mean, if you see a new Android this year that's like, man, that is really awesome, I might have to test that out, and go for it. Take a chance every once in a while. Yeah, I kind of figured that's why you kept saying daughter, so I confidently say Happy Father's Day to you, good sir. Thank you, appreciate that, Quiet Storm. Yeah, again, I mean, I'm public with, if you guys ask me a question, I'm not gonna deny anything, but like I'm not gonna just put all my stuff out there kind of thing. Oh, you're up with a 1 month old. Yeah, it's funny because I have friends that just had kids like in the past year or so, and they're all like, man, when you get to this stage, you know, when you get to this stage. So yeah, when this happened this past year, I was like, psh, you got a 1-year-old? Wait till you get to my... No, but yeah, I skipped a lot of the other things, so yeah, we'll see that. I'll get to that probably over the next year or two as well. Oh yeah, happy Father's Day, man. Thank you, I appreciate it. Why DirecTV Now keep buffering? I don't know. I haven't tried DirecTV Now, but I know a lot of people have been asking me to do that, and I had planned on doing it a long time ago, but just haven't had the time yet. And I have so many camera comparisons to still do. But it is on the list to compare all of the streaming services, like the cord cutter solution, whether it be, you know, PlayStation Vue, DirecTV Now, Sling TV, all of those. I really want to do a full comparison to all of them. But I was kind of also wanting YouTube TV to step up a little bit more before I did, because I think it could be a great solution, but right now it just doesn't have as many channels as it needs to. I saw you and Samsung chatting on Twitter. Yeah, I think you liked one of them. Why do they make apps work on tablets free on Samsung? Apple apps work on tablets flawless. What can they do? Why can't they do it on Samsung? I think it's just developers, you know, whatever developers feel that they want to develop for more. I think that's really the big thing, honestly. Samsung and Apple content gets all the views. Some people don't even care about OEMs that are good but less popular. I completely agree. Yeah, and that's why, like, I mean, I like to cover like all. I mean, you know, when an OEM says like, "Hey, can you review our smartphone?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try it out, I'll test it out," and you know, sometimes I'll test out a brand that's not as popular, but like I want to see the take on it, and I want to give you guys my feedback just in case we ever thought about getting this brand. So yeah. Also, I think Samsung would do better if they make their own operating system like Apple. I think that could be good in the long run, but it's so hard to be better than Android. 5G LTE coming soon. Really, next year there will be no smartphones that have an LTE built-in antenna this year. Moto Mods are coming out with a 5G attachment this year for their Motorola smartphones, but that's about it. After Oreo update, my G7 Galaxy S7, sorry, Edge, my phone didn't recognize my SD card. Had to reinstall it. Why? Just sometimes when you're updating an operating system, it can have issues. If you really have like big issues, sometimes what you have to do is reset the whole smartphone. It's just something that basically, think about this. Say you have, you know, a gig for a download, right? With some of those updates, they're that big. So if you have a gig update, all it takes is 1 megabyte. 1 megabyte. Not doing it properly. And that's it. And then it messes up the whole thing. So yeah, gives you an idea. Congrats, Ricky. You went from 0 to teenager. I know, right? What do you think about Orphan making content for Apple? Oh, are you talking about the Opera? Oh, Opera. You're talking about which one? What are you talking about, actually? Are you talking about? Because I know Apple is like thinking about, oh, Oprah making sorry, it's all night for me too. Went camping this weekend, so that was definitely hard on me. Oprah making content for Apple. I haven't heard about that yet, but I know they're. I mean, Apple's trying to find a lot of content, so much so that they're trying to get into animation for a movie. If you didn't hear about that, I didn't really talk about it because it's movies. It's not this, but yeah, Apple is looking to purchase a animation studio. a smaller one, not like Pixar or any of the big ones, based like DreamWorks, something like that. But a very small one, and right now they're looking to work with them first about possibly making their first studio movie. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Check out a font in Google Play. You can actually add other fonts to Samsung smartphones. Only app, yeah, great app. Seen a YouTube video on iOS 5 beta. Just laughed at how most of the features Apple is boasting I already have on my Gear S3. It happens. I just put my 1-month-old down to sleep. Can already hear him stirring in the monitor. My 2-year-old will be up at 6:30 to go ready to go to daycare. May as well start downstairs and listen to your show. Well, I'm glad I can help you out a little bit, or just give you some entertainment in between the dad sessions. And happy Father's Day. It will be, I will leave at 8 a.m. Hope there's no miss. Alright, so yeah. Alright guys. I think we're winding down. I know it's a late show and I know I'm tired. I thank you guys all on the East Coast for watching at midnight. That's kind of crazy. And past now it's gonna be 1 a.m. over there, right? But yeah, had a great show. Again, there will be some stuff over best phone under 300. We did talk about that earlier, Dave, so check out, I gave 3 phone recommendations for that price range. But yeah, a lot of videos coming out this week. I didn't put up videos. Now my strategy to get more views, just so you guys know and are aware of it, basically, if you ever see me have a couple days with like outputting any videos, it's because the last video I uploaded is getting really good views, so I'm just leaving that as the last video so it gets even more views, and YouTube keeps recommending it that way. So yeah, oh, I'm a mom, Ricky. Oh, I'm so sorry. Again, I'm sorry. I'm really tired. Then happy late Mother's Day. Or if you, I just don't want to assume anything now. But yeah, all good. What else? Let's see. Yeah, got some videos coming this week. We're finishing up our coverage on the MateBook. The G7 review should be coming out this week as well. We recorded that last week, so that should be coming out as well. And yeah, some videos coming out. Getting kind of tired, getting kind of delirious. So overall, again, thank you guys always so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, there most likely will not be a video. Definitely next week on Sunday. I'll try to see if I can do it Saturday, but definitely lots of different things coming out. Alright guys, thank you guys always so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, why don't you go ahead and subscribe up there. Make sure you follow us on social media right here. And of course, check out our latest video up there. And right down here, you're going to find the perfect video for you. Or at least that's what YouTube tells me. Thanks again.